Hey guys, my name is Jong-Min, and today is the third in our video blog series. I want to take a recent look at news and highlights from immigration this past year, ever since we left off in January. John Boehner, back in January, listed his immigration principles, which included a pathway to legalization for most of the undocumented immigrants here in the United States. And within 1 week, he changed course and had this to say about the chances of immigration reform.
There's widespread doubt about whether this administration can be trusted to enforce our laws. And it's going to be difficult to move any immigration legislation until that changes.
After Boehner's speech in February, many immigration activists knew that immigration reform wouldn't pass this year, but President Obama kept having hope that Congress would do something. Eventually, Obama realized that nothing would be done and gave this speech in June of this year.
And that's why today I'm beginning a new effort to fix as much of our immigration system as I can on my own, without Congress.
After Obama's speech in June, many immigration activists were elated and even somewhat relieved that he finally used his executive powers to help the rest of the undocumented community. Now, a lot of people were thinking that he's going to extend deferred action for all or deferred action for some residents. The theories were that he would extend deferred action for parents of DACA recipients and parents of U.S.-born children here, and also probably for military veterans, spouses of military veterans. Now, it remains to be seen what he's going to do, but the estimates were that he's going to help about 4 to 5 million undocumented immigrants here in the United States. So here we are in September, and unfortunately, Obama delayed his administrative relief, and he notified many activists and organizations that he's postponing his executive orders until after the November elections. And this just led to a serious criticism and anger towards him. Like, why are you doing this just to save the Senate for the Democrats? And it remains to be seen who will control the Senate in November. So then eventually it will be seen as a way to kick immigration down the road until it's politically safe for him and his party. Obama even went on Meet the Press to highlight the reasons behind delaying his immigration orders.
This problem with unaccompanied children that we saw a couple of weeks ago, where you had from Central America a surge of kids who were showing up at the border, got a lot of attention. And a lot of Americans started thinking, we've got this immigration crisis on our hands. And the truth of the matter is that the politics did shift midsummer because of that problem.
Within these past couple of months, there's been an explosion of migrant youth coming to the U.S. asking for relief or asylum. And it's just created a huge backlash from the public and for certain towns that don't want to house these migrant youth. Many of them have fled from difficult situations within their homelands, such as Honduras or Guatemala, even Mexico. And I think that most of them should be protected because President Bush in 2008 signed a child trafficking law, which allows them to be legally represented in court, especially during terrible situations. Unfortunately, that 2008 law doesn't cater to Canadian and Mexican children who are border countries with the U.S., but many others who do come here, they should be protected on that and should look into that fully, especially have some legal representation in which allows them to stay here in the United States. Last month, I and 10 other undocumented immigrants applied to DHS for deferred action. We feel that our cases highlight some of the tragedy or inequities within the immigration system. Us 11 individuals represented, I guess, the 11 million, but of course our cases highlight our own stories. We feel that since we highlight our own stories, we can highlight other people's stories and push the administration to extend deferred action for all. And to help support us in our campaign, the 1 out of 11 million, please check out the Define America website, read our blogs, read our cases, and even spread the word through Twitter through the hashtag. Thank you very much, and hopefully this works out as we're still waiting pending approval from Homeland Security. There's been a lot of news recently about domestic violence, and rightfully so. It's an issue that's often overlooked, and hopefully we as a society need to address it and talk about it more. Last month, the Immigration Court announced that a Guatemalan woman could apply for asylum. Many times immigration courts would deny these women a right to apply for asylum because they weren't classified as a social group. Now, asylum cases, generally you have to be under a social group to apply. So if battered women are now a social group, this allows many other women to apply eventually for asylum. And this is considered a great ruling because asylum cases, domestic violence under asylum cases usually didn't come approved, and now they probably will be. It remains to be seen how this Guatemalan woman cases will apply to other countries, but if women are battered and abused, and they can show that their own native countries do relatively little to protect them, such as in Guatemala, then I think it opens the doors for other Mexican, South Korean, Honduras, and Nicaraguan women to come here and apply for asylum and probably be granted it in the near future. And I do hope that domestic violence will be recognized as asylum worthy, rightfully so, because women won't be afraid to leave abusive marriages, won't be afraid to leave their abusive husbands and boyfriends. And even if it happens here in the United States, many of these women, children, can apply for U visas in VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act, and hopefully will be granted a legal right to stay in the United States. President Obama is expected to announce his immigration relief orders in November/December. Many activists are probably thinking hopefully November, but I think the reality situation is that it'll probably be in December around Christmas time. Now that's going to be unfortunate because estimates have showed that about 60 to 70,000 immigrants will be deported by then, and it's just really another tragic situation under this presidency. Obama has earned the label or term deporter-in-chief for deporting over 2 million immigrants in his presidency, more than any other president in the history of the US. And I think he made such a bad calculation. He wanted to be so tough on immigrants, so tough on these migrant youth, that he wanted to get Republican support. And he never got this Republican support in his 6 years of presidency within Congress. So not only were these immigrants deported, he still doesn't have an immigration bill to show for it. And I think the politics of it will not make it doable until after he's out of office in 2016. It's probably going to be the next president, whoever he or she is, to try to get Congress to pass an immigration bill. I do hope and think that if the New York State DREAM Act could pass next year in 2015, that we also look towards the Federal DREAM Act. You know, it's probably going to be a long shot, 2015, but if there's no presidential election season underway in the early part of the year, hopefully immigration could be in Congress and we have enough votes. I know in 2010 it followed by 5 votes in the Senate, and probably right now in the House it probably wouldn't look likely because they've been defunding DACA, voting to defund DACA. But I think that if a new Senate, if the Democratic Senate is still there, I guess, and if the House relents, and even John Boehner had his prediction maybe immigration reform could pass in 2015, which nobody believes in, that maybe even breaking off in chunks, the DREAM Act first, hopefully it could be doable. And you know, I do hope that this will be the optimistic goal next year, and that we look towards that as well. Well, that's all the news I wanted to cover today. Of course, there's a lot more news that I wish to cover. And I hope that, you know, we as immigrant youth support each other, you know, we stop the deportations, and that we do the best that we can. I know how hard it is to be undocumented, and I think that we live this every day of our lives. And if people have questions or comments, please write me at Facebook on the Living Document website, send me a message, and I'll do the best I can to answer them and give back to you. So signing off, this is Jong-Min.